Hi, I'm Jason Bryant. I'm going to demonstrate what I do when I cut myself and just really don't like going to the doctor or don't want to pay the doctor to do what I can do myself. So, watch. The first thing to do is to stop the bleeding. So, use whatever's handy. It's always nice to have a good roll of electrical tape or duct tape handy. So that's what I used. Just throw on some type of absorbent material, some tape, stop the bleeding. So let's start off with getting things off and see what this actually looks like. I just saw blood at the beginning and figured it didn't need much looking. I needed to finish what I was doing, so use some tape. Not too bad. Got it. Need to do, rinse it out good. This is going to sting a little bit, but you've cut your leg. You should be expecting some sting. Yeah, that's pretty nice and wide. If you've let it sit a bit, you probably want to open it up so you can get it good and rinsed out. You don't want to leave any trash in. You leave trash, you're just expect on getting infection. You don't want infection. So good irrigation is key at this point. I like throwing a little alcohol on. It's going to burn, but cleans it out. Getting it irrigated out very well. Doesn't look like there's any trash. It was a pretty clean cut at the time. Then I like putting in a little bit of hydrogen peroxide as well. And I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it'll foam up and clean out. Do the last little bit of cleaning. Make sure things are nice and clean. In my unprofessional opinion, I think it's good getting it back to bleeding a little bit. Getting the blood to run and clear things out a little bit. There, the bleeding settled down. So, what I've done, gone to a local little Dollar General store and for a couple of dollars picked up a whole pack of a whole bunch of sewing needles. Went to a local hardware store, picked up some fishing line. It's got 6-pound test. That'll be nice and small, but plenty strong enough. So, I think it's good. Take your couple of sewing needles I'm going to use here. Sewing needles are a little bit difficult because they're brittle and they're not bent. So you'll see I have to kind of wiggle around a little bit. I've taken a little jar lid. I'm going to put those in there. Some alcohol in it to sanitize my needles. Get some fishing line. Shouldn't take much line, not long. Wipe that off. Alright. Roll up the fishing line so I can get it in my little container of alcohol as well. So I'm going to take that, dip that in. I'll call that sterile. Who knows? Doctor may have said that's not sterile. Of course, I'm not a doctor, am I? So we'll call that Jason Bryant sterile. Alright, time to start stitching up. There. And I did wash my hands before coming on the video. So thread the needle. Now it's probably just going to get boring, but it's just sticking a few stitches. I did actually do this earlier in the summer, and that was the first time, and I was like, oh man, I should have videoed that. So when I cut it today, I thought, hey, guess I'll video it this time. So anyway, somebody asked me, I guess it doesn't hurt because it's cut. No, it's going to hurt, but what's the point? You know, a little bit of pain. The difficulty getting it through the skin is surprisingly difficult. It's a fair amount of force to get that needle to jab through there. Someone has recommended you could take ice, chill it, and numb it. I say just start jabbing holes. So take it, pinch it up. Like I said, this is where the sewing needle is a little more challenging. Just sit, press hard. Catch where you're coming out. Right. Press hard. Right. Like I said, takes a fair amount of force. As I said, good force. There we go. We come through. Get that line out. Take another pop to get the string to come through. There we go. String is through there. Probably best to not let your line drop on the ground, but well, I try to say I'm a mountain man, right? Let's rinse that off again. Get the bleeding down. Seems to me just most any good knot will work. So just tie it off. Not to go over snug, but just over tight, just nice and snug. Again, we got it zoomed in so a little closer up so you can see. So I'll show you what I'm doing for sanitizing. Taking the fishing line, kind of rolling it up, put it back in the alcohol. And as I said, I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to call this sanitary. It's field work, man. It's field sanitary. So let's got our string sanitized again, get our needle out. I'll be back in a minute, give it a little more close-up view of a stitch. Alright, we'll zoom it in. Next time I'll zoom it in another notch and you can see a little bit closer the stitch. Again, not too bad of a cut. You don't have to get them too close together. Again, I say once you get ready to go, get it pinched up like you want it, just push hard. So it's not going to get any less stinging. Through. See if we can get it through a little bit. There we go. Got it through a little better that time. Just set in and push. And that is stitch number 2. Go back in the alcohol and snip our ends. Cut out some of the sterilizing and cleaning. I've seen it once. How many times you need to see it? So, trying to zoom in here a little closer. Look for stitch number 3. Line out of the way. Get my hands out of the way. See if you can see here. So I like to take it, get things pinched up. And there we go, get it set right, and then just push. See, overall, the quicker you can get it through, the better. Alright. Pull that through, get our needle back in our alcohol. Tie the stitch off. So you can see there, nothing too complicated. Down good and snug. Hold. Tension on it. Like what you might not see there is like once I get that loop, I pull it down so my stitch will actually hold good and snug. And there, tie it off. Good and tight. Scissors. No, honestly, it doesn't really hurt that bad in my opinion. It's just like sticking a needle through your skin, that's all. Stitch number 5, and this should do it. The little slice closed up. So they're getting tight, so I just shove it in on the one side and then turn it up to get it through the other side. And through we go. Alrighty. That's one. Tie off. Snug. 5 stitches. Nice and easy. Alright, got it all stitched up. Clean this thing up a little more and that should do it. That should be about all the bleeding. Grab a little more of the alcohol that I used to sanitize. Throw that on there. Get the bad stuff out. And finish off with just a little more hydrogen peroxide. Get a little sizzle. Really get it cleaned out. Nice and clean. Looks like I'm finished just in time as it starts to rain, but that's how I take care of my cuts. With the fishing line and the sewing needles, that was the only things I had to go to the store to get, and those were, I believe, right around $9. The way I look at it, a whole lot cheaper than a visit to the ER or urgent care or anyone else who would have fixed it. And I think I fixed it just as good as they do. So that's how I take care of my cuts.